G'day legends, I hope you're all awesome. Check this out. This is a vintage Rockman stereo chorus delay module. I've got it on loan from Verly at Past Effects. Big shout out to them for loaning me this and some other vintage goodies to make some videos with. But I'm super pumped to do this because I've never played any of these old Rockman modules before. This one, it's not stereo chorus and delay, it's stereo chorus / delay. So you have a chorus side that you can use or a delay side that you can use. So the delay goes up to 200 milliseconds. You've got sliders on here for feedback, effect level, the general kind of stereo spread. And on the chorus side, you've got a long and short chorus button and a slider for the rate, as well as some kind of spread controls over here. There's this slider over here to kind of optimize the input for different signal sources. And on the back, you've got a bunch of I/O and foot switching options. It runs off 12 volt AC power. It's like, what does it say on here? 500 milliamps. So it's pretty thirsty, but I guess that was just the way these things were back in the day. Let's hear it first with some absolutely spanky clean sounds, and then we will just kind of work our way through all the glorious shades of Filth. Let's go. Let's start out with the chorus side. I'm going to start with the rate at a minimum, so it's 0.25 hertz. The maximum rate on here is only 1 hertz, and then you've got a long chorus and a short chorus, which I think is kind of just changing the delay time. And then all the way over on the other side over here, you've got a 4-way switch that takes you kind of from subtle to very wide on there. So let's do this. Let's start out with the chorus rate at a minimum. I'll let you hear the difference between the long and short chorus, and then I'll let you hear the 4 different kind of stereo spread modes on there. We get this. I'll let you hear this with maybe a slightly less plastic clean tone now. I'm on the neck pickup. You could hear in there that the chorus never got super psychedelic sounding or seasick. It was very much within those parameters of what I would consider an 80s style chorus tone, with the short chorus, the rate at maximum, and the really subtle mode on there, totally usable. Similarly with the rate around halfway, with the long chorus in, and with the kind of widest stereo spread, still pretty usable in there. Let's have a listen to this now. I'll start out with the rate at a minimum, and we'll go back down to mono on this particular clean sound. I'll just kind of use it for maybe like a funk style thing. So again, still neck pickup. Not bad. I think I kind of liked it for the shimmery arpeggios more than I did for that very C- grade funk playing I had on there. Let's try it with a little bit of grit now. Again, I'll start with the rate at the minimum. You could hear on there with the long chorus that it kind of had like a doubler style effect. We'll hear this kind of crunchy tone with the delay side in just a second, but I just want to finish exploring the chorus side with this range of, you know, kind of super pristine clean to a little bit grungy and dirty. All right, let's try some doubler style stuff with really short delays on the delay side. You have this mode select switch over here, and when you do that, you're activating this slider over here that takes you from mono to stereo, which is really just kind of wet, dry. I'll let you hear that with, what is this? I think if I've got this in, then it's a long delay, so it's out. It's a short delay. Got a feedback slider over here and a delay level, which I've got up. So this should be a very, very short delay. Clear the difference between mono and stereo, and the kind of in-betweeny bits. I kind of like that echo style effect on there. Let's keep rolling with that. I've just switched over to a Les Paul so I can get a little bit more grunt out of this. We'll switch back to the chorus in a second as well. As you heard there, you can get carried away with the feedback and get some self-oscillation on delay mode. Then, of course, a little bit of rush with the Les Paul and the chorus mode on there. It's definitely bringing to mind that kind of like moving pictures signals era chorus thing. I'm pretty sure Alex wasn't using anything Rockman. I don't think this was even out at the time those albums were recorded, but you know, the circuit is probably inspired by the tones of that era where everybody was either using some kind of electro harmonics chorus or a boss chorus, or I guess you probably had like those MXR rack like delay doubler things that people would have set up for chorusing. Really, really sweet sounding. It's a great sounding chorus. I love it on there. And the kind of slapback echo style thing that you can get out of that, especially with the difference from like super mono straight down the middle to super wide sounding where it's just left wet, right dry. Pretty interesting. Like if you had this in your rack and you were playing in a stadium or a massive club back in the day through a stereo rig, or, you know, let's face it, probably like 8 Marshall cabinets, and you had 4 on one side, 4 on another, you had this in your rig, that would blow the audience's mind hearing that kind of in stereo like that. It's blowing my mind here. I really, really like the way it sounds. So let's go back to the delay mode and we'll play around with some of those like doubler style effects again. Let's go to the short delays, I think, and you know, I like that it only goes down to about 20 milliseconds, which is basically where you want it for a kind of doubler style thing. Maybe if it could have got shorter, like 7 milliseconds, but you know, that's where stuff like the TC2290 comes in for that really, really wider than wide thing, because that's got a phase reverse on it. But I digress. We're getting into the weeds here. Let's just have a listen to this with a Les Paul. Now for some ultimate filth in drop C. We'll start on the delay side. I've got the short delay activated. I've got it set to mono. Let's just see how this works as a general embiggening effect on this tone. How does the rest of that go? There's some ridiculous thing. Not quite, but it will do. Let's go over to the chorus side on here now. I'll go for the short chorus. Let's try it at the minimum. I want to see if this will No More Tears. This is a lot of fun. I was pretty skeptical about not having any knobs on here, but using the sliders in this kind of little half rack mount space is pretty enjoyable, and it's got a definite aesthetic about it. I think when I look at something that is the color blue and it says chorus on it, I know I'm going to feel a very particular way. That's just hardwired into my brain. I'm maybe weird about that, but if you're like that as well, let me know. You know, like when you see a distortion pedal and it's got to be orange or something like that, like the correct color for effects boxes. So it definitely does that. But there's so much fun to be had in here. When I first tried it, I was immediately like, it's only got 200 milliseconds of delay. What am I going to do with that? I want a big, juicy lead delay. It's not the unit to use for that, but up to 200 milliseconds of delay in there, which anything under 200 milliseconds of delay, I generally call echo. You know, not kind of using it like a delay line. I don't think the semantics of that matter too much, but yeah, this is really like, it kind of does those shorter echoes, slapback stuff, the kind of doubler style effect in there. The chorus sounds amazing. I love that it's actually got quite a limited range. So it's like, you know, just stay in this little sandbox. Don't get too carried away, children. You don't need ridiculous rates on your chorus or ridiculous amounts of depth. You just need this. So I think from the perspective of does it 80s, the chorus side is well worth it. And I would love if somebody, you know, hint, hint, would do a clone of the Rockman chorus circuit and just put it in a modern pedal that can be, you know, powered off a normal power supply and is really robust with good jacks and pots. I think we might know someone out there who would be pretty good at that. The delay side of it, to me, it's really, really fun. It's not something that I feel like I would need a standalone box to do. And then the stereo imaging things on there, they're kind of unique and pretty interesting on there. So this has been like really, really fun, and it's kind of been a dream to check out one of these units. I do have a buddy, shout out to Jacob, who apparently owns all of these Rockman modules, and I've been meaning to get around to their place to actually do some demos with it. So if you would like to see me do that video, pester me in the comments. Let me know. Come and join the Discord, which is linked in the video description, and do the same thing. I really, really like this little unit. Big shout out to Verly at Past Effects for letting me borrow it, along with a bunch of other fun stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you all enjoyed the grease, and hopefully there'll be some more like this coming very soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.